Hey guys, what's up? Mike here with this super special video. It's actually pretty late, so I'm not gonna be uploading a lot of videos tonight. I usually upload like rapid fire, but I'm gonna be doing a special super awesome video. Justice League, the New 52 Justice League issues 1 through 7. So, and they're double-sided because I conserve space like that. Bam. So, Justice League 1 through 7. I'm not gonna be going through each individual issue. This is gonna be more like my Black Mirror video. I'm just gonna go over the basic gist of what happens, what I liked, what I didn't like, so on and so forth, and explain a little bit about the New 52, especially if there are some of you guys who don't read DC, and are especially turned off by the New 52 because it is a little confusing. You know, this reboot, they rebooted their entire line. I mean, rewrote a lot of history. But yeah. So just a little background information about the New 52. So Justice League takes place 5 years in the past from current DC-ness. So what is current DC? Comics like Batman, I guess Superman, not Action Comics. Action Comics starts off while Superman is still figuring out his powers, but Batman, Superman, um, I guess Aquaman, probably those three. Flash and Wonder Woman have weird continuity and time frames, especially Flash. Because Flash, he's sort of growing into his powers in his comic. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He really doesn't know. He knows about the Speed Force, which is weird because the Speed Force was something created by Barry Allen when he died, in Crisis on Infinite Earths. But whatever. So this takes place 5 years in the past. A present DCU. What does that mean? So it sort of takes place in a world where superheroes have been around, but they're considered a menace. If you guys saw the previews for issue 1, you see Batman. He's hunting down this demon, this monster. Cops start shooting at him. Green Lantern shows him, oh, you're a myth, so on and so forth. Yada yada. But yeah. So there was a lot of questions about, oh, if this is 5 years in the past, how does Batman have so many Robins? Well, you have to realize that regardless of it being 5 years in the past, like superheroes have been active before that. So the Justice League themselves, as a united team, have only been around for 5 years, and until present DCU, Batman's been active for a lot longer. So it is possible for him to have as many Robins as he did, especially if Jason Todd is Robin, and then Tim Drake, and now Damian Wayne knows Robin. The whole Bat family. So Batman's been active for a long time. So basically, the first 6 issues speak about the formation of the Justice League. Basically, the main villain is Apocalypse, not Apocalypse, Darkseid. Apocalypse is from X-Men. Darkseid. He's sending his parademons all over the world, onto Earth, and they're opening boom tubes, or they're planting boom tubes all over the place. Batman and Hal Jordan, Batman and Green Lantern, they're sort of finding these things and trying to stop them. And along the way, they bump into Superman. Not much other than that in the first 2 issues. Superman, they're just fighting. The first 4 issues introduce all the characters slowly. Um, and then by issue 5, we have all the team members together. Cyborg's officially here, fighting. And we see Darkseid, and he sort of, his plan is he's kidnapping a lot of people. He's torturing them. And the Justice League, they team up. They manage to throw him back into the boom tube, and Cyborg closes it. And they're considered Earth's greatest heroes. The Justice League. So issue 7 is actually a little bit different. It takes place. They're already formed, but it sorta is about how the person who coined the term Justice League, the writer who created a comic book or wrote a book about them, gods among men. Um, he I guess he figured out that he was wrong about the Justice League. That they aren't the heroes that they are, and that the only way to destroy them is through their one weakness, which is Steve Trevor, Colonel Steve Trevor, who is the liaison for between the Justice League and the government, which is another different thing. In pre-DCU, New 52, the Justice League were autonomous. They did their own thing, regardless of the government. The government really didn't have any control. But now they have this liaison to the government, and before they would be their own liaison. Really, they didn't answer to anyone. If whoever was in trouble, they helped. They probably still do that, but it seems like there's a lot more, red tape to cut through, especially with Steve Trevor, whose unit is created to support the Justice League. Mm. But so yeah, and the end of issue 7, there's a little short about Shazam. Um, for you, the guys who don't know, Captain Marvel, not the Captain Marvel, Billy Batson, who's imbued with the power of Shazam. Shazam is a wizard. This is a little confusing, but originally his name was not Shazam. There's a wizard called Shazam who picks a worthy champion and imbues him with the strength of I think it's the strength of Hercules, the trying to remember all of it. Strength of Hercules, something of someone. I'm totally blanking on his name. What Shazam means. Shazam. Oh, it's here. It's the S for the wisdom of Solomon, H for the strength of Hercules, A for the stamina of Atlas, Z for the power of Zeus, A for the courage of Achilles, and M for the speed of Mercury. Shazam. So basically, this wizard, he picks a worthy champion and when you say the word Shazam, you get hit by a magic bolt of lightning and you become awesome and you get imbued with all this strength and power. Now, it's a little confusing. Many people thought his name was Shazam because on the comic book it was just Shazam on top, and people thought, oh, it's Shazam, but it was Captain Marvel. And to remove any confusion, they renamed him to Captain Marvel. So we get a little preview or like a mini or backup about Billy Batson, how he's an orphan in this. And he seems a little bit of a dick. Not like the other the incarnation of Billy Batson in the previous DC. He was very kind. He was a nice kid, and that's why he was chosen because he had a good heart. Sort of like why Steve Rogers was, I guess, is such a great hero because he has a great heart. Um, because he had a good heart and because he was kind, so the wizard picked him, and he was a worthy champion. Well, in this he seems a little bit of a dick, and you see him, and he's sort of an orphan. He's moving through the system. He really resents the system, and the wizard Shazam's like, there's a threat coming, and Billy Batson has to learn his greatest lesson to become Shazam. Um, so that's about it. So as for quick, so Justice League basic intro. I'm gonna be going through all the characters introduced who are on the main roster of the Justice League. So we have the main team. The first character we're introduced is Batman. And all these characters are designed based on Jim Lee redesigned a lot of the DC characters for the reboot. So I'm gonna be going through each of them and saying what I like and what I dislike. So Batman. I like Batman's costume. It's very dark. I'm personally I don't really care about the oval or the symbol. If it's an oval or not. Some people do. Some people don't. Um, I guess it gets a little weird because because it's black on gray, it's hard to see. But other than that, that's not a big deal. So this Batman, he's very high techy. It seems like his suit's very Kevlar. There's a lot of seams, and a lot of the costumes. A lot of seams. Batman, and the Flash have a lot of seams. Batman, he looks very sleek, very nice. Nothing to complain about. Batman, he looks like Batman. Too, nothing too crazy. Um, Personality wise, he's Batman. One thing is weird. in Justice League issue 5, I believe, he unmasked himself in front of Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan doesn't really know who Bruce Wayne is. How do you not know who Bruce Wayne is? Regardless of you being in fucking space all the time, you live on Earth. Bruce Wayne's the richest dude on the planet. You should know who fucking Bruce Wayne is. So he unmasks himself, for some silly reason. I don't get it why, but he does. So Batman, nice design. Nice redesign. Second character we're introduced to is Green Lantern. Not much to say about Green Lantern. It's very traditional. It looks more battle armory. There's a lot of collar. There's a high collar. Shoulders. It looks very, very militarized. I guess very, in terms of because the Green Lantern Corps is a police force. They should be wearing some sort of type of armor. It looks a little heavy duty. Good design. The emblem is raised a little bit. It glows all the time. Not much else to say. About Green Lantern. Moving on, the next hero we're introduced to is Flash. With the Flash, I like the way they've taken his costume. It looks very traditional, but there are a lot of seams on it, and the cool part is when he's using his powers, lightning like runs along the seams, which is really cool. Francis Manapul, who's the current artist and co-writer of Flash, does a great job drawing him. If you guys have a chance, you check it out. Flash has been a great book. Probably one of the best books of DC's been putting out. I'm probably gonna do a Flash review later this week or month. Um, then we're introduced to Wonder Woman. Now Wonder Woman is an interesting character. So a lot of people complain about the pants, no pants. Me personally, what do I feel? Pants. I don't really care. I mean, regardless, because she's a woman and because she's in comic books, she's obviously gonna be, you know, very just drawn, very pretty looking. I guess. I'm trying to formulate a way not to sound weird, but yeah, she's gonna be very objectualized because she's a woman in comics, and especially because she's the only woman on this team. But with her costume is no longer gold, it's silver. She wears. Her costume's good. I don't like the weird armband she has. Nor do I like the weird seams on her whatever bustier battle armor. I think if they got rid of the seams, it'd look a lot better. Um, Not much else to say. I forgot Superman. Totally forgot about Superman. So there's Superman's also in this. He was introduced before Wonder Woman. So Superman, he has an interesting costume. It's more Kryptonian looking, I guess, in the origin. There's a collar. They've gotten rid of the red underwear. Personally, I don't really care. In all honesty, for the red underwear, it's whatever. It looks good in certain situations. It depends on who draws it. When Jim Lee draws it, it looks not bad. But there are other people who draw it and it just looks weird. I can't really think of who. I don't remember who the artist on actually Superman was, but I think it was Gene Ha. Um, yeah, but it was weird. Maybe I'll remember it, but it was a little weird. Yeah, not much else to say about Superman's costume. It's interesting. Aquaman. Aquaman looks like Aquaman, in all honesty. Green pants, orange shirt, just made of scales. He has a trident. That's about it. Not much. He was actually the one character that didn't change that much at all in terms of looks. He looks like Aquaman. He sort of looks like he belongs in a Abercrombie and Fitch like poster. And then we have Cyborg, who is an interesting addition to the team. You know, it's pretty interesting addition to the team of all the people they could add as Cyborg. Cyborg, he's a lot different than his original counterpart. His whole body, more of his body is more like robotic, and I guess his whole body actually morphs when he goes into combat. Similar to if you watched Superman, Legion of Superheroes on the WB show, Brainiac 5 would morph into like this battle unit. Same idea. Because he's integrated with this technology based on not only human technology but um, technology from Apocalypse. So he's very, alienish. They travel through boom tubes. It's pretty interesting the way they're taking their take on this. So the last one we have is Darkseid. Darkseid has he has an interesting design. He still resembles Darkseid, but he has this more omega feel. He has like omegas all over his body. It's weird. Um, Still the douchebag shooting laser beams. Not much to say about this dude. Um, and those are the characters in the book. Personality-wise, it seems the Justice League is a lot more bloodthirsty than they were before. Like when there's just parademons all around, you see Wonder Woman stabbing them with her sword, and Aquaman summoning sharks to eat them and stabbing them in the face. And then you see Superman, he picks up a truck and just wastes them. It's just like they are super bloodthirsty. It's gonna be interesting to see how they interact with other villains. Are they just gonna be like typical like heroes, just beat them down, put them in jail, let them break out, buddy up, put them back in, or are they gonna start killing? I know in Earth 2, which was announced, is coming out soon. That the Justice League is gonna be a lot more bloodthirsty, and there's gonna be a Batman who people don't know if it's gonna be Dick Grayson or it's gonna be Bruce Wayne. Um, there's a lot of speculation over it, especially with the announcement of the Earth 2. Other than that, so the first arc of the Justice League, the formation of the Justice League, and I guess the first arc in essence was a success. It was entertaining some of the time. A lot of the time it was just dull. Um, just due to the fact that everyone knows the Justice League, the characters, and retelling an origin, while helpful to people who already don't already know the backstory about, especially because it's New 52, who don't know anything about comic books and they're getting into it, is helpful. But if you already know a lot about the Justice League, and if you already knew Apocalypse was a villain, and you could tell from day one, you could tell from issue one, this dude, he suicide bombed. It says all hail Darkseid. Um, like you already know this, who the big bad is. Like you already know the myth. You already know the lore behind how badass this guy is. It's not really helpful. So that's why I found it a lot of the like it was interesting seeing the new spin on it. That Jeff Johns is giving the Justice League, but at the same time, it's just like Jesus. Can we have a different villain? In in truth, I think if they had a new villain, a different villain for the formation of the Justice League, I think it would have been a lot more entertaining if they created a brand new villain out the gate. Someone awesome, someone badass, someone that level of scary. For the Justice League to team up and fight against. It would have been a lot more interesting. But Darkseid, he's just that villain. He's always around. He kills everything. He gets beat up all the time. But him and Superman just always go at it. So yeah, Darkseid as like in essence, it wasn't a bad choice, but I would have liked the new villain. Um, yeah, but overall, Justice League's not a bad book. It's a good book. It's good. Everyone should check it out. Especially those with some reservations about the New 52. Especially since the first arc's over, you could just read it all in one giant go. You don't have to wait. Um, what sells Justice League more than the story, I guess, is the artwork. Jim Lee is like the premier artist of our generation of this generation. Um, like in truth, like he's drawn the most major stories and arcs of like, you know, he's X-Men. He's drawn the most selling X-Men comic ever, which is like not only the most selling X-Men comic ever, but the most selling comic ever. X-Men #1 with Chris Claremont. The redesign, which is the '90s X-Men, is based off of the anime series, based off Jim Lee's designs. He did Hush. He did Hush, a major storyline that some people are iffy about. He did For Tomorrow, a Superman story. Everyone loves, or I guess is really popular. Um, so he's created characters. He created Gambit. He had his own. He did Gen 13 for a while, then Wildstorm. He's like he is the one of the most well-known artists of of in the comic book world. So I guess his art sort of um is what people try, like new and upcomers try to sort of emulate, I guess. But his art really helps the book along, especially with because it's so solid. He does a great job um drawing everyone. Um, Other than that, not much to say about the art. Story wise, as I said, solid story. Just the main issue is, yeah, as I said, I wish they had a different villain. We have um other than that, not much else to say about Justice League. It's a little disappointing that it ended. It's sort of the way it ended with the Apocalypse fight. I'm not gonna say how it ended. You guys should check it. I mean, I sort of gave it away that they win because if they didn't, Earth would be a smoldering crater of fire and brimstone. So it's so we know that it's they win they're winning. But it's a little lackluster like how they do it. Especially with the power level. Maybe an epic beatdown would have been nice, but the way it is just a little disappointing. Um, Other than that, not much else to say. You guys should definitely check it out. Make your own opinions. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a. I don't think you should. In all honesty, if you are interested in comics and want to check it out, you should check it out. I might say you should buy it. Uh, that's only if you really, really like comic books. You really like Justice League. If you really like the Justice League and the characters, you should pick it up. But if you don't really care, like in essence, I sort of care. I don't really care. In actuality, probably my least favorite superhero of all of them is of the Justice League is Superman. Not because I don't like his character. He's a great character. It's just that Superman's so bland and just like you always know what he's gonna do. Like he's like what can't he do? Like you already know what's gonna happen. And it's like he has every power. There's no connection between you and him or the reader and Superman because Superman is a god amongst men. Like I don't know, you can't really connect with that. But so but I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you shouldn't. Like if you read the book and you like it, I'm not gonna say go ahead and just buy all the issues. Like this is a great jumping on point. Since issue 7 just came out, issue 8 starts a new arc. Great point to jump on if you want to start buying comics, start reading comics, especially Justice League, because it's a brand new arc, and you don't have to go through the introduction again if you already know about it. Um, that's all I'm gonna talk about Justice League for now. I'm gonna check out issue 8 when it comes out, and if I like it, I'm gonna buy it. Or maybe I'm gonna take a break from Justice League and see how what the world and internet sees it. The hype over New 52 is done now that their second wave is coming out, and I know Marvel has this huge event coming up. Avengers vs X-Men. Not only that, they have Spider-Man, which is coming out in June, by Bendis and Sarah Pichelli. So I'm interesting to see if they're gonna bring a Ultimate Universe and a 616 universe crossover with Spider-Man. Maybe they'll bring back Peter Parker. Bad idea. Um, Other than that, not much else to say. Thanks for watching this, guys. If you watch it, let me know what you think about Justice League. If you like it, if you think I'm just full of shit. If you like the characters, if you like anything. Subscribe, check out my other videos. I'm be posting other stuff up as the week goes on. A little busy this weekend, sorta. I have a lot of stuff to do, but other than that, not much else to say. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend.